because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning, area.
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
Come on!
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Pregame Show. Joe Spadoni, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's a fabulous Monday here in San Francisco. Hope you all had a beautiful weekend. So much to break down. Little time to do it. Let's not waste any time. 888-957-9570. That's the number if you would like to call or text. The Comcast Business Text Line. 888-957-9570. Warriors drop Game 1, Round 1, Western Conference Finals. Check Western Conference Finals. Western Conference Playoffs. Slowly roll. 126-123 Sacramento Kings taking out the Golden State Warriors in a game that was fun. It was energetic. It was fast-paced. Fouls at the end. Boneheaded plays at times. But ultimately, the Sacramento Kings come away with the dub. De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, they were on fire. Stephen Curry, he does what he does. 30 points. Wasn't enough to get past Sacramento, and the Kings getting their first win in the playoffs. And my goodness, 15 years now, 17 years, whatever it is. My God, the atmosphere was electric. And if you were there, let me know. 888-957-9570. I was expecting a lot more Warriors fans in that building. I was actually kind of shocked. Felt like it was 75-25, maybe 80-20. I didn't see any Warriors fans making noise there. Crazy. I did see a longtime Warriors fan, unfortunately, getting escorted out and videos surfacing around E40, all that sort of stuff. Just unfortunate, that whole situation. Hopefully it will come to light soon what went down, but Shams Charania of The Athletic reporting that E40 believed it was racially motivated, all that sort of stuff. We all know E40. He's been at every Warriors game. He was saying people were getting mad at him for standing up too long, blocking people behind. Can we stop with this? You're at a playoff game. Stand up, people. Sacramento, stand up. And you should be standing up after that win. If you're a Kings fan, let me know. 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. What were your first initial thoughts? Are the Warriors in trouble? Is it no sweat? You're down 0-1, no big deal. Kings fans, Warriors fans, all are welcome here on the pregame show. 888-957-9570. We'll hear from Steve Kerr. Andrew Wiggins was back. Man, if Andrew Wiggins hit that three-pointer at the end, what would the storyline be there after missing all that time and being the hero in Game 1, the first game in the playoffs? That would have been nuts. But ultimately, his shot faded away very fast. 1 of 8 from beyond the arc for Wiggins, 7-16 overall. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good performance from him, all things considered. The conditioning will get back. It will get better. Can only get better. I mean, he looked great and sharp in that first half, and then slowly but surely he started fading a little bit, which is to be expected. The guy hasn't played, regular season basketball, let alone playoff basketball, which is ramping it up even more so, times 1,000. So, Andrew Wiggins, good to see him back on the court. Could have hit that shot, but Warriors only need one on one of these 2 road trips. They only need one, folks. They didn't get that first one. They'll try to do it again tonight. 888-957-9570. We'll have all that coverage for you right here, 95.7 The Game. 6 o'clock, Warriors Live. John Dickinson getting you started before tossing over to the great Tim Roy, who will be on the call right here, 95.7 The Game. All day. Don't go anywhere. Locked and loaded. Warriors, Kings coverage all day. Morning roast. They're fired up. Bonte and Shasky have a lot to break down. Steiny and Goo. Willard and Dibbs. All that and then some leading you up again. Warriors Live at 6 o'clock. Be tuned in for that. We'll have all that pre- and post-game coverage right here, 95.7 The Game. Steve Kerr, your shot on the shot selection from the Golden State Warriors.
We took some bad ones, but I didn't think shot selection was the problem. We're always going to be aggressive, and sometimes we're going to take some quick ones. That's part of who we are, and that's okay. We got great shooters, and I trust those guys. The issue was the offensive boards. You had 17 of them, a lot of them in the second half when we had built that 10-point lead, and that allowed their shooters to get open. Late third, they made their run. I think they got several buckets off of offensive boards, and that really hurt our momentum.
Hurt their momentum, and listen, when you have a game where Domantas Sabonis doesn't ball out, you feel pretty good about your chances. We were talking about it last week. You cannot have Fox and Sabonis both go off. If that happens, you're going to be in trouble more likely than not. One of them, that's fine. And we all thought it was going to be Sabonis was going to be the guy that could eat. Fox was kind of that wild card. Well, De'Aaron Fox, in his playoff debut, dropping 38 freaking points. And not to be outdone, off the bench, Malik Monk, both these Kentucky guys, dropping 32 additionally. So Malik Monk picked up that slack that Sabonis had. Sabonis only 5 of 17 shooting, 12 points. He ate a double-double. That second half, my goodness. Didn't end up scoring, I think, until like halfway through the fourth, something ridiculous. The Warriors handled him and put him in check. Now, conventional wisdom would say you're not going to do that the whole series. He had a bad game. But you could say the same for Malik Monk. Hey, is Malik Monk going to do that every single game? Probably not. But hey, they got the job done. They had another guy that stepped up. For the Warriors, who's going to be that other guy to step up? Who is it? Klay Thompson? Okay, 21 points. The shot selection at times wasn't the best, and Steve Kerr talked about it there. But I'm going to live and die with Klay Thompson hitting some of these shots or not hitting them. I'm going to live and die by that. You know what? Because he has built up enough equity throughout this run the past decade to say, you know what, Klay, he knows what doesn't know what a bad shot is, right? He knows that at the end of the day, I'm Klay freaking Thompson and I can hit a shot and you can't. I'm one of the greatest shooters of all time and you're not. So don't tell me what a great shot is and what isn't. He was talking about that with the media yesterday. Took a little umbrage to that, and we'll play some of that for you going forward here on the pregame show. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Andrew Wiggins, though, was the big story to me. That first half, just getting Andrew Wiggins back in the flow of things and him looking like Andrew Wiggins. He was having great defensive plays. He was making his jumper. He made that one three-point shot early. But he looked fresh. He looked good. Now, the conditioning is a concern moving forward in this series. How soon will that start to come back? Doesn't just happen overnight. Will it happen throughout the flow of this playoff series? I don't know. If they can get past the Kings, and we can't sleep on that. They're already down 0-1. But I thought he looked good. What say you? 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570 is the number. Comcast Business Text Line is open. YouTube, Twitch, how we doing? It was a great weekend in sports. We had a lot of upsets. We had some people thought wasn't much of an upset. Lakers taking out the Grizzlies, although the Grizzlies were favored in that series. You had the Clippers last night taking out the Phoenix Suns. Russell Westbrook revenge game over Kevin Durant. Yeah, what did he shoot? Ended up shooting 3 of 18, 3 of 19. One have been the greatest non-shooting stat lines of all time because of what he did that just didn't show up on the stat sheet. Russell Westbrook, he might have been someone's MVP. It is an MVP Monday here on the pregame show, as it is every Monday. Who was your MVP of the sports weekend or non-sports related? Could be, you took it out your kids and your little guy was awesome at the park and he played well with others. Hey, Benny, you were my MVP yesterday. Went to the park at 11:30. The missus ended up, setting up a play date with all of his old school buddies. Their school shut down about a year and a half ago. One of the teachers had to move, so they shut it down, but all the kids get to hang out together still. And yeah, hey, how about 11:30 on a Sunday? Oh, Oh, you mean the Lakers are playing at noon? Oh, sorry. Already scheduled it. So your boy was knee deep in the streaming on his phone for that Lakers-Grizzlies game. Big win there. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura could be the MVPs of the sports weekend for some of you. Just tremendous game from them. Again, the name of the game this weekend was people stepping up. Bench players stepping up. Who's going to be that bench player for the Golden State Warriors in this series? Is it going to be Jordan Poole? I'm already hearing, is it Colin Cowherd? I saw he was the blame for losing that game. Can we relax? Can we please relax? At least he was getting to the free throw line. 7 of 8. 17 points. We're putting that loss on Jordan Poole? Come on. We're a 3-point away from Wiggins to sending that baby into overtime. Or not even to winning it. Not even sending it to overtime. To winning it and saying night-night. Andrew Wiggins is the GOAT. Warriors repeating. I feel so confident about this Warriors splitting this series on the road here and then taking the next, whatever it is, 3 of 4, whether it's in 6 or 5. I'm still very confident in the Golden State Warriors winning the series. Are you? 888-957-9570. I just feel like I watched that game, and maybe I'm wrong. I could be. Wouldn't be the first time. But De'Aaron Fox, I just feel like they're going to go after him hard this next game. Steve Kerr, Ron Adams, Atkinson, they're going to say, we're not going to let De'Aaron freaking Fox beat us. You know what? Herter, Malik Monk, all you other guys, Harrison Barnes, sure, go nuts. Fox, I'm putting a big body on him. I'm slowing him down, and God bless Klay Thompson. My goodness. Towards that stretch there, he just could not keep Fox in front of him. He couldn't. And it felt like, and I love to use this analogy every time, it felt like Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. He was telling Klay Thompson, and De'Aaron Fox was,
Your soul is mine.
That's what happened. He stole his soul multiple times down the stretch there. And granted, De'Aaron Fox is going to do that to a lot of people, but it was just so apparent that during that final stretch, he wasn't stopping him. He wasn't.
Your soul is mine.
All-time movie, by the way. Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade. Come on now. Don't mess with me on that Mortal Kombat action. Jax. All that. 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. Your MVP of the sports weekend. I don't want to hear if it was the tongue-in-cheek, it was the refs. Stop. It was the referees. Knew this was going to be a point of contention when you started the free throw discrepancies. Malik Monk getting 14, making all of them, by the way. That was slept on. Yeah, they got to the foul line, 26-32. I mean, Warriors got, 21-27. Make your free throws, people. Could have been the difference in the game. Could have walked away with the win. Make your free throws. Kings did that, and that was the difference. That was absolutely the difference. Here's more from Steve Kerr talking about Wiggins' return and then his performance.
Wiggs was great. It was so awesome to have him back. We're whole with him out there. Our team makes sense with Wiggs back. I thought he looked really good. I thought, first half he was amazing. Second half he maybe wore down a little bit, which is to be expected given that he hasn't played in a game in, over 2 months. But he was fantastic. It was wonderful to have him back. Take that shot all day long. Left corner, 3, that's his spot. But that was the plan, to go in, have him finish every quarter with 6 or 7 minutes, and then rest at the top of every quarter and, get to 25, 28 minutes. I think he was at 28 something. So that was kind of what the plan was. I thought he played great, 4 block shots. He's so dynamic defensively. But again, comes down to rebounding. 17 offensive boards is tough in a playoff game to win when your opponent gets 8 more field goal attempts. I think maybe 9. No, it's 8 more tonight. And that was a direct result of the offensive boards.
The offensive boards will be key. Say what you will about Sabonis on the scoring front, but he did get 16 boards, 5 offensive boards. Harrison Barnes was active around there. Alex Len was making plays. I was like, what is going on here? 2 offensive rebounds for him. Trey Lyles, 2 offensive boards. So yes, offensive boards will be key. But when you're going up against a bigger team, when Sabonis is out there, it's going to be tough. And we love Kevon Looney and what he's done all season, leading the league in offensive rebounds, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be tough when you're facing up against these big teams, whether it's the Kings and Sabonis, whether it's, Jokic, whether it's Anthony Davis, Jared Jackson Jr., all these guys that are bigs in this Western Conference, it's going to be tough to stay on that glass, but they got to try some way because you're not getting bigger anytime soon. Here's Andrew Wiggins himself talking about that last shot and saying it felt amazing.
All your teammates in Kerr said they'll take you taking those shots every time that you're going to make them. Did they feel good coming out of your hand?
That last one felt amazing. Yeah. It did. Didn't go in, though, but it's only up from here. I know I'll make more shots.
I didn't know if he was being tongue-in-cheek there at first. He was like, it felt amazing, like being sarcastic. But no, I think he was legit. Like, yeah, it felt good. Just didn't go in. Tim Kawakami there at The Athletic asking the question. But listen, you're taking that open shot like 99 out of 100 times at the end of the game there. It just didn't go in. He wasn't shooting it well there. But listen, if he made it and he was 2 of 8 shooting there instead of 1 of 8 or whatever it was, math is terrible on a Monday morning. Apologies. But if he makes that shot, doesn't matter what he did the last month and a half. Oh, you were gone, Andrew. It doesn't matter. We love you, Andrew. You made the most important shot of the season. He came back. He didn't. It is what it is. They move on. They're down 0-1. Concerned? Confident? How we feeling, Dub Nation? And Sacramento Kings fans, how are you feeling up 1-0? Felt like you won the damn near entire thing. Saw a celebration. And I'm not here to poo-poo the Sacramento Kings. They've waited so long for this. They've waited so long. Let them enjoy that win. Why do we have to, urinate all over everyone's cake, if you will? How about that analogy at 5:15 on a Monday? Come on. Let them enjoy it. Let's not be a buzzkill. Warriors fans getting all sad and in their feelings about the Kings celebrating. You have much bigger things on the horizon. You're trying to win the second year in a row. You're trying to repeat. You already won the whole damn thing last year. Don't let the rinky-dink Sacramento Kings, and I'm not calling you rinky-dink, just in this analogy, don't let them get under your skin. You're better than that, right? Right? This trash talk is getting pretty damn good and pretty damn exciting on Twitter from a lot of people, not at this station, ESPN 1320. It's getting pretty exciting. It's getting a little fiery. I'm loving it. I'm loving every single second of it. 888-957-9570. Here's the man himself, Stephen Curry. He had 30 points, 11 of 20 shooting overall, 6 of 14 from beyond the arc. Not the greatest three-point shooting effort, but overall, pretty damn good night from Steph, who's driving to the rack and just begging for foul calls left and right. Wasn't getting them, but here he is talking about that playoff atmosphere and process and feeling guys out.
That's kind of what the playoffs are about, just guys making plays, and first game's kind of a feeling out process, and we controlled the game for a good 33 minutes. They went on a run, into the third, start the fourth, got the crowd back into it, and then we responded, which is what we're capable of doing. Just high energy game from start to finish, and good look in the corner to go up to, down the stretch of the game. And on the road, the learning lesson is just every momentum swing matters, and, no matter who you're playing, but especially with an offense like they have. So we would love to have won tonight, but again, good learning lessons for us. I think we arguably played our best kind of road game in the sense of meeting the moment. So excited about game 2.
Excited about game 2, and so am I. All that coverage right here today. 95.7 The Game, leading up to Warriors Live with John Dickinson, 6 o'clock before tip-off at 7. Cannot wait for that. Again, all your action, all playoffs long for Golden State Warriors basketball right here, 95.7 The Game. Tim Roy was in his bag, and here's how the final call sounded right here on 95.7 The Game this past Saturday.
Thompson curls far side. Curry gets it, floats it up on the rim. No good. Had a chance. And game 1 goes to Sacramento. The first playoff game for the Kings franchise in 17 years. Gives their fans a moment to celebrate, and they take a 1-0 lead in the series. Fouls, free throws, and missed chances by the Warriors offense cost them dearly in the fourth quarter here in game 1. Final score, Sacramento 126, Golden State 123.
Whoa. They're doing cool in the gang? Do they do that after every Kings win? Let me know if I'm missing something. That's an A's thing. They taking that? Are they allowed to do that? The A's been doing that for years. Do the Kings, after every win, do the cool in the gang, celebrate good times? Come on. Let me know. I have not knew that. That changes everything. Stealing the A's thing. By the way, speaking of LVPs, not MVP of the sports weekend, did you guys hear the possum story about the A's in the broadcasting booth? Apparently there's just a possum living in the opponent's broadcasting booth, the opponent broadcaster, whatever you want to call him, over at the Coliseum. There's just a possum chilling in there. I guess it's embedded in the walls or something. They're just not going to do anything about it. Dave Cavill, John Fisher. Yeah. You know, it's living there. We contacted PETA, and they think the best thing to do is just to let it live in there. What are we doing? Getting swept. It's just embarrassing what's going on over there in the East Bay. John Fisher. The fact that guy, it's Major League in real life, and I'm not going to spend another minute on what's going on with him and what he's doing to that franchise, that historic franchise, that World Series winning franchise, as they celebrated, what was it, the 50th anniversary of the 1973 team and that World Series team victory over the New York Mets, who just kicked their ass this past weekend. Pete Alonso hitting one all the way to Antarctica, the polar bear. God, be better, A's. 888-957-9570. More from Stephen Curry talking about having Wiggins in that backcourt and what it means for the team.
It was great. He looked good out there. He looked real springy. I know, everything probably besides his three-point shot was pretty solid tonight. So it's nice to get. But he played 28 minutes. And he looked pretty fresh the whole time. So what adjustments we made going in the game too. But for him to get his feet wet after that much time off, jumping into a playoff series, like the way he looked, and know it's going to continue to get better.
Going to continue to get better. How soon and how fast will that happen for Andrew Wiggins? Do they need him to start playing better in this fourth quarter stretches? Absolutely. But is it realistic to expect that conditioning to ramp up throughout this entire series and be back to where they want it to be? I'm not so sure. Time is not on their side when it comes to that. You're already down 0-1, 3 more, and you're out of here. But they're going to try to get back and even that series tonight. I believe they do that, or else they got big, big problems. If they do not even this series tonight, sure, they're defending champions. They're the Warriors. We expect them to even up the series at home where they dominate at Chase Center. Say what you will about the team on the road this season. They have been a championship-type team at home. But you don't want to go down 0-2. You know those numbers. You know the statistics. It does not look good. By the way, I think that was Steve Kerr's. Did I get this right? Maybe Sam Lublin could fact-check this for me. I think Evan Giddings, E-Dog, voice of the Bay Area Panthers. Don't miss it. Don't know if they won last night, by the way. I'll have to check that out. Him and Mark Grady do a hell of a job with the 415ers podcast as well. Download the Odyssey app, and you can find that there, as well as Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys for all your Giants coverage. But Evan Giddings was telling me that was the first loss for Steve Kerr in the first game of his Western Conference series. That can't be right. First game, or is it round 1, game 1? That was his first ever loss. That makes more sense. We'll look into that. But I was like, really? You just start looking at all these stats for Steve Kerr, and it's just like, we know that they've never lost a Western Conference series when he's been with Clay, Steph, Draymond. But it's pretty unbelievable when you start looking at all these statistics that he's built up over this past decade. Some of the stuff that's just not going to be broken, it's pretty unbelievable, and just a tip of the cap what he's been able to do. And he's going to have his work cut out for him. We said it last week. I think this might be the hardest series for the Warriors. If they can get past the Kings, I know. Listen, I'm not getting a step. I'm not sleeping on the Kings. I'm not putting them past them. Yes, I still expect them to win this series, but it's going to be very difficult for them to do so. It'll be more difficult if they lose tonight and go down 0-2 heading back to Chase Center. You do not want to do that. You're giving a young team hope and confidence, and that's the worst thing you can give them. That's the worst thing you can give a young team is hope and confidence. Go out there tonight and take that away. But I believe this was the hardest potential matchup in the West throughout this entire run for the Golden State Warriors if they were to go back to the NBA Finals. Why? Because of the Andrew Wiggins factor. Him getting reacclimated to this team is going to take some time. And can the Warriors win this series going through those growing pains with him? You know, you would have loved for him to hit that shot 1 of 8. I got to attribute that to Yeah, maybe the playoffs, maybe nerves, maybe just conditioning, all that. That's all wrapped into one. And yeah, it's great to have him back, but when push comes to shove, you're going to need him to make that shot towards the end. You're going to need that from him. You're not going to get much wide open looks like that better in the playoffs. Got to hit those. You got to hit those. 888-957-9570. Here's Draymond Green. Enough about the offense. What about the defensive side? Talking about Malik Monk. You got to stop that guy. How do you do that, Draymond?
Yeah, we got to stop Malik from getting downhill. He got downhill quite a bit, put a lot of pressure on our defense. We talked a lot about him as a three-point shooter, and he got to the cup, and he had some good finishes. He got to the free throw line, knocked free throws down 14 for 14. So obviously we could do a much better job on him, and we will.
Have to do a much better job on him. Him and Fox were like two cats in the backfield going up against hippopotamuses at time. Just speed. Speed kills, baby. Cliff Branch, RIP. Speed is the name of the game, not only in football, but in basketball. De'Aaron Fox, we knew that's what he was all about. Maybe I should have used a Fox analogy. That was right on the tail. That was a layup. I said cats. Fox was right there. By the way, I have a home run call from John Sterling. Speaking of MVPs of the sports weekend, we got a new one. Volpe, home run. We got a new one. I'll tease that for the other side, but De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk, I don't expect that sort of performance from Malik Monk again. Maybe Fox. But you got problems if you can't get in front of those guys because they are going to go to the rack. They're going to draw fouls. They're going to get your team in foul trouble. And that was the difference in the game. So can you not foul? Can you keep guys in front of you? Can you make the right plays? Remains to be seen. They're going to try to tonight. Again, Warriors Live, 6 o'clock coverage of that with John Dickinson before tossing over to the voice of the Warriors at Warriors Vox, the great Tim Roy at 7 o'clock tip. Warriors Kings, all that action tonight right here, 95.7 The Game. We're going to take a quick break. Come on back. More of your phone calls, more of your texts. Comcast Business text line 888-957-9570. Warriors, they fall to the Sacramento Kings 126-123, looking to even the series tonight. Come on back. The pregame show, Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Do you want to know what's trending now? You can defer payments of a full NetSuite implementation for 6 months. No payments and no interest.
5-7 the game.
Welcome back. Pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95-7 the game. Warriors take a Game 1 loss to the Sacramento Kings, 126-123 in the first round of these Western Conference playoffs. Your thoughts? We concerned Warriors fans. We cocky Kings fans. 888-957-9570 is the number if you would like to get involved in the show. It's the call or the Comcast business text line. YouTube and Twitch is up and running. Hello. How we doing? Hit me up on there as well. You can also give me a follow at Spadoni_Joe, where I just quote tweeted. I don't know if you guys saw Russell Westbrook after the game yesterday, but apparently went at a Suns fan in their little VIP fan area. He was like, "Come at me, mother effer." And then you just see this kid in between this drunk fan. I don't know if it was the kid's son or what, but there was just this kid sitting in between them as a security guard is pushing Russell Westbrook away, eating like this, I don't know what it is, like steak or something, not using a fork or utensil, sliding it off the plate and just eating it. It's just hilarious. I could not take anything else seriously in that video the rest of the way, but check that out again at Spadoni_Joe on my Twitter. Follow me there for all your sports and just randomness needs. All right. MVP Sports Weekend. Who was it? I'm not going to hear the refs. No, I'm not going to hear that. I'm not here for that. On the playoffs. We talked about that heading into this entire postseason. It was going to be a storyline. You know what? Warriors, make your free throws on the opposite end. And you might have just come away with the dub. 21-27. Overall, they shot 5 more free throws than you. It's not that big of a discrepancy. If it was 10, 15, 20, okay. Yeah, when we see those large disparities like the regular season with the Lakers and stuff like that. Big disparity. Saturday? 5 shots more? That's it? That's what I see. I see you also taking 50 3-pointers and making 16 of them. That can't happen. Juxtapose that with what the Kings were doing. They were driving to the paint. Dribble, drive, penetration. And that was the difference in the game. Warriors settled for a lot of bad shots. There were a lot of bad ones. And I know it might sound like I'm contradicting myself early on because I said Klay Thompson, every shot he takes is a good shot. He's earned that right. Whether I think it's a bad shot doesn't really matter. I don't play the game. He does. And if he says it's a good shot for him, I'm going to listen to a top 5 shooter in the history of the NBA. I'm going to listen to him. Now, it might be maddening for a fan base to keep watching that and him chuck up and him missing. It is what it is, but he's made more great shots in his career than he's made bad shots. That's a fact. And you're going to live and die with Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Jordan Poole attempting those kind of 3-pointers. That's what's won you a championship last year. And it's going to what's ultimately, if they go in, win you another championship this year. By the way, just taking a quick, macro look at everything, zooming out, if you will. I'm not sleeping on the Kings. I keep saying this. I'm not sleeping on them. If the Warriors were to get past this series, I feel so confident in them getting back to the NBA Finals and winning the whole damn thing. That Giannis injury, that was massive. Left the game yesterday with they're calling it a lower back contusion. Tyler Hero breaking his hand. That sucked. He's going to be out probably the rest of the playoffs. But that back contusion for Giannis didn't look good. Left the game. They're down 0-1 to the Heat. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers, you're looking at that like, oh my goodness. By the way, Sixers and Celtics making both of their games non-competitive, just smacking the Nets and the Hawks respectively. Yikes. Every other game this weekend was actually pretty damn entertaining. T-Wolves notwithstanding. What even happened in that game? There was so much happening last night, I completely forgot the Nuggets and Timberwolves were playing. Like that Clippers-Suns game was so fun. Lakers-Grizz, Kings-Warriors, just so many games in a row. They were going down to the wire, go back to the Knicks, Cavs, Jalen Brunson being a baller. And then it got all the way at 7:30. Don't miss Nuggets T-Wolves. Yeah, I'm out on that. 109-80. Looks like I didn't miss much. 32-14 third quarter pretty much did it in for the Minnesota Timberwolves again. It's going to be a tough series. Losing Naz Reid and McDaniels, that was tough for them to overcome. They were playing so well, I felt like, heading out of this year into the regular season, and those injuries just going to be very, very difficult to overcome. And listen, credit to Denver. Everyone's just talking a bunch of smack about them and their chances this year. Like, listen, hey, we've been the best team all through the regular season. We have a 2-time MVP, maybe 3-time MVP, although I think Embiid's kind of got that one wrapped up. But hey, credit to them. They went out game 1 and made a statement. No, we're the number 1 seed. It runs through Denver, and we're going to show you why we deserve your respect. Now, beating the T-Wolves, people are still going to sleep on them. It's not going to do much, but hey, if you go into the next round and beat the winner of, Clippers or Suns, then yeah, people will start talking about you as legit contenders. Till then, Nuggets, it remains to be seen. But it was just nice to see a little macro view of the NBA playoffs over the weekend, and I just feel like it's more wide open than it's ever been. And the Warriors cannot go down 0-2 tonight to Sacramento. Don't give that young team hope. Go in there tonight, take care of business, 1-1. Everyone throws out the old, they can't win on the road narrative. Go back home where you dominate, win 2, you're up 3-1, night. That's it. That's it. Easier said than done, though. Can't let Malik Monk go off. Can't let De'Aaron Fox do what he did on Saturday. You expect Sabonis to not be as bad and play as poor. Or maybe, just maybe, this is a bad matchup for him. And Draymond Green and Kevon Looney keep doing their thing against him. Kevon Looney, God bless him, man. That guy shows up every single game. Every single one. And I know he's not going to be a big talking point for a lot of people today, but you know what? He was handling Sabonis at times. He was giving him the business. He was one of the only Warriors in plus figures. He was a net 0 in the plus minus, but he was doing his thing. 8 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, a block. Doing a bunch of foul game. I get that. And 5 personal fouls. You know what? Hard fouls. Love what I'm seeing from Loon Dog. 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. Here's more from Stephen Curry talking about this chess match. This was after the game Saturday, and the chess match that's going to be happening, not just in this series and potentially throughout the playoffs.
It's what we live for. We thrive in these situations, and it's so different in the regular season because you're playing the same team, and that little bit of an advantage mentally, seeing the game, making those adjustments, it matters. After this long 82-game schedule that we've had in the season, to be back in this environment, it brings the best out of us, and there's a lot of confidence in what that looks like for us to try to, again, just win game 2 and get back in the series and take it from there.
From the YouTube chat, and shout out all of you. You guys are on fire. Ken C, Dante, KM, all y'all. Django, Ike, love all y'all. Mark Failer, shout out Palma High School, baby. I saw you chiming in there early. But Ken C with a great one. Great point here. Should we be concerned if the Warriors can keep up the fast-paced games? Seems like Mike Brown is going to keep pushing the pace. See, that's funny. And it feels like the Warriors of old. We're just like, oh, are you kidding me? You want to get up down with the Golden State Warriors? Yeah, good luck. But maybe, just maybe, Mike Brown's like, yeah, I think our guys are better. Our guys are faster. Our guys, and I'm looking at Kevin Huerter. I'm looking at Malik Monk. Yeah, Kevin Huerter didn't have his greatest game, but I'm looking at our guys and our depth at three-point shooting. I think we can do it better than what you did, Warriors. Like, that's kind of what it felt like. Now, they got to the line a lot more. So that three-point shot, although it wasn't hitting at a great clip, you know what? They noticed that and realized that early and just kept driving to the rack. That dribble drive penetration that they were able to sustain throughout the game was devastating to the Warriors. And that's going to have to be a major adjustment if they want to even this series tonight. And again, we'll have all that coverage right here, 95.7 The Game. And real quick, before we go to break, I teased it. Your MVP of the sports weekend, and keep those questions coming on the YouTube chat. That was a great one, Ken C. 888-957-9570 as well. It's Comcast Business Text Line. Your questions, your biggest question marks for the Game 2 tonight at Golden One Center. But your MVP of the sports weekend, I got a nominee, and it was out in the Bronx yesterday. Anthony Volpe, the rookie, with a home run, and John Sterling with another home run call of the ages. Real quick, please give it to me, John.
1-0. Swung on a high fly to deep left center. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Anthony Volpe's first home run in the major leagues. Anthony Volpe, a spectacular OG. No, the Fox Sox one to left, and the Yankees take an immediate 1-0 lead.
It's always got to be Italian. It always has to go with the last name. I had to look into that one. That one's a little over my head, John, but God bless you. John Sterling, WFAN, with the call there. Voice of the New York Yankees. I guess Volpe, and as an Italian, I should probably know this, means fox in Italian. Great call. MVP of the sports weekend. Who's it for you? 888-957-9570. God, I love John Sterling. Real quick before we hit the break here, but we're going to hit the cross over next with Joe Shasky joining me as he does every Monday through Friday at 5:45 of the morning roast. Heavy D in Concord wants to join here. Heavy D, you're on 95.7 The Game, man. How you doing? Heavy D. There we go.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, man. How we doing?
I'm doing all right, just going to work. I've been a Warrior fan a long time, since 1974, when I first met Al Ellis Jr. in elementary school. Going to the, games with him and, meeting the players, that was a pretty surreal experience for a 9-year-old little boy.
I can imagine.
I've been watching basketball a long time, and I'm no expert. I just watched on TV like the rest of us. But, man, those Kings, they got that special snap, crackle, pop. Man, they really look like something. And I've watched the Warriors in a lot of playoff situations. But, boy, these kids over at the Kings, man, they really seem like they want it. And I think it's going to be an amazing series. And that's pretty much what I had to say. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate your time, Heavy D, chiming in out of Concord there. Listen, snap, crackle, pop, that's great. It's a great comp because that's what they are. They're sizzle, they're spark, they're fun, they're fast. That was kind of a season-long culmination put into one game as the Sacramento Kings in a clutch moment were led by De'Aaron Fox. Like, that game was kind of symbolic of both teams, am I right? Like, Warriors kind of just finding a way to lose towards the end there, and the Kings, on the road I should say, granted, and the Kings finding a way to win. That game was kind of symbolic of how the regular season has gone for both of these teams. Now, is it going to change? It didn't in game one. Will it tonight? We're up against it. Come on back. Cross Joe over next. Joe Shasky joining for the Morning Roast right here, 95.7 The Game.
Easy Cater presents We've Got Your Back.
95.7 The Game. Crossover coming up, where Joe Shasky, the Morning Roast, joins me as he does every Monday through Friday at 5:45 for a little sports talk and pop culture. We love a little Mandalorian action, a little Star Wars talk. God, man, Mandalorian's on fire this week. I cannot wait. His season finale, I think, is this week. Cannot wait. I don't trust, spoiler. That's not really spoiler. Just saying, I don't trust the armorer. All right? Let me just say that right off the bat. Do not trust the armorer in The Mandalorian. Take that for what it's worth. Maybe she's ended up being someone who's really good. Maybe she's a Jedi along. I don't know. I don't trust her. 888-957-9570. Another thing I don't trust right now is the Golden State Warriors interior defense, as Joe Shasky wants to break our air conditioning unit, as we shouldn't even have one in a studio, but we are here at 5:50 on a Monday reacting to a Golden State Warriors loss with all of you. 888-957-9570. They fall to the Sacramento Kings. 126-123 are now 0-1. They get back in action tonight. And again, all that coverage right here on 95.7 The Game starting at 6 o'clock with Warriors Live. And Joe, just your initial thoughts on that game. It felt like a game that they just had right in hand and they squandered it. But also, you got to give the Kings some sort of credit there. De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk, they were pretty phenomenal, man.
Oh, they were excellent.
They were awesome.
They were excellent. I mean, that was an awesome game. Here's the funny thing. I hear this from every fan base. We didn't even play well. That's playoff basketball. There's going to be give and take. Like, you're not facing, pick the Utah Jazz, where they're just going to roll over on you, right? And you're not going to have everything humming simultaneously. That just doesn't happen. I mean, maybe you have a game here and there, but I look at that one and missed opportunities for the Warriors combined with opportunistic answer backs by the Kings. Now, they did a great job answering back. I thought they did a better job attacking the cup against the Warriors. And, Malik Monk, no doubt. I mean, he was spectacular. But let's say he only gets a fraction of those points and Spadoni gets other ones. It's the Trey Lyles impact. It's the Alex Len impact. These random guys, Harrison Barnes having big-time rebounds, big-time threes, putbacks. There's lots of little opportunities where it felt like the Warriors at the end of the first quarter, at the end of the second quarter, at the end of the third quarter, had opportunities to either extend a lead or maintain a lead, and they failed to do so.
Well, it kind of felt like a symbolic game for both of these teams. Like, it kind of felt like this is what they've been throughout the whole regular season, right? Kings, last seconds, final minutes. Let's give it to De'Aaron Fox. He's going to be clutch.
He's going to close.
That's what he's done all year. Close games, and they've gotten over the hump.
Yeah.
The Warriors, what have they done in close games all season long? They've squandered it. It kind of just felt like a symbolic kind of game of where these two teams were in the regular season. Now, can they flip that script? Because all they need is one. All the Warriors need is one. Flip the straight. Now there's 1-1. Go to chase where you feel pretty damn confident you can go up 3-1 against this team. But if you go down 0-2, what did Draymond say last week? Giving a young team hope, Shasky?
Oh, for sure.
You do not want to do that.
They're riding high right now, and they should be. Yeah. Like, if I was a Kings player, staff, fan, whatever, dude, I'd be through the roof right now. I mean, you got a huge win in a game that you feel like, we probably didn't play our A1 game. And so, of course, you're going to give yourself a lot of confidence in that. Let's go to a couple sequences here. Okay, there's 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. You're up 88-81. All right? You got the lineup of Wiggins, Poole, Looney, GP2, and Clay out there. Now, everybody losing their mind about lineups. We can get to the lineups and stuff like that. Just listen to this one. Lyles gets a rebound putback, all right? Wiggs comes down, misses a little bunny layup, and then misses the putback dunk because it hits the side of the rim. You give up a wide open dribble drive penetration, kick back out, De'Aaron Fox three-pointer. That was huge. The very next play, JP rolls his ankle. He hits both free throws, but he doesn't look right, okay? Then Lyles hits another three-pointer. So you go from 88 to 81. Now it's 90-89. Clay comes right back down. I thought it was a forced three-pointer, but it was a good look, but it was forced. It felt a little rushed. Then Malik Monk attacks the hoop. He hits a layup, a really good contested layup. On that play, Kings take the lead. It's a 15-4 run overall, and Trey Lyles has 10 points.
Yeah. It just flipped the script right there, didn't it?
I mean, no doubt about it. And so you're up 7 points with a couple minutes to go, and instead, and that place was quiet. I mean, if you listen to that arena, it was quiet.
Not as many Warriors fans as I thought was going to be up there, by the way. But credit to the Sacramento Kings, right? Like they showed out. This is their first game, and I was like, listen, it's a really close proximity. Maybe Warriors fans like, listen, I don't want to go to Sac, I can just go to Chase Center, and they'll be back in action at Chase Center Thursday, right? Game 3 there. So can't wait for that.
Good for them, right? That's what they held serve. That's what they're supposed to do. And then let's go 5 minutes to go, right? 5 minutes to go. I thought this was the moment where the Warriors lost their edge defensively because of some of the whistles. And I'm not blaming the whistles. It just felt like there were 3 occasions Malik Monk got hung up in the air, and it felt like he was getting bailout calls to me. Now, Malik Monk, when you attack as often as you do, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt.
And they were attacking all night.
Wiggins had De'Aaron Fox trapped on the sideline with nowhere to go, and it looked like he was toe tapping and trying to throw the ball off of Wiggins. He gets called for what I believe to be an excuse me push by Ed Malloy. Very next play.
Oh, it's your favorite guy, too.
Oh, I can't stand that guy. Very next play, GP2 gets a foul out trying to box out Sabonis. And it's like 3 guys boxing out Sabonis. I don't understand how he got that one. Very next play, a Fox three-pointer. So you give them 2 opportunities. He's feeling good. He hits a big-time 3. Then Clay comes back. He nails a huge 3. And what does Fox do? He misses the dunk coming down. Malik gets double-teamed, gets blocked on the shot, and instead, it's a foul on the Warriors. 3 fouls in 30 seconds.
It's tough.
And you get the 3-point play after the 2 fouls, and then you get the 2 free throws. And what I deem to be... Give me one of those. If you give me one of those, I think the whole momentum of the final 3-4 minutes changes. It's very frustrating.
It does, because it happened so much down the stretch, it felt like the Kings were just getting so many more calls.
I thought the officials were good.
They were.
I thought the officials were good.
Because if you look at the overall free throws comparisons, they only took 5 more.
No, I thought they were good. But I'm saying there were individual sequences where I'm watching the ESPN game and I'm saying, God, I'd love to see a replay of that.
Yeah.
God, I'd love to see a replay of that block. Instead, it felt like ESPN, and I'm sure they felt the same way, because the Warriors got overturned calls in the final couple of minutes.
Yes.
That to me could have gone either way.
Yes.
They could have gone either way. And I'm not complaining about the officials, but when you watch the game on ESPN, they show the play prior to the one that I want to see reviewed.
Yes, I know. They keep showing, let's go back to see. I was like, no, go to the one we just saw.
100%.
I totally agree.
And De'Aaron Fox was outstanding in this game.
Like we talked about this.
Outstanding.
We talked about this last week. Like you cannot let both of those guys go off, right? Sabonis and Fox. So you felt pretty damn good. Like, okay, Sabonis is struggling. Fox is going out. But you can't let Malik Monk do that again. Now, do you expect him to do that again? No. But to your point, like Kings fans and Warriors fans are both coming out of the game like, both of us didn't play our A game.
Well, Keegan Murray didn't do anything.
Kevin Huerter didn't do anything.
No, although I thought his defense was good. Yeah. And then Sabonis didn't really do anything. But I would say with Sabonis, he created a lot of off-ball fouls on rebound situations and commanding double teams in certain spots.
Offensive rebounds, I shouldn't sleep on.
Which opened it up for others. Yeah. So I think both teams have reasons to feel optimistic and pessimistic. Like, I keep going back to this one. So Sabonis, Huerter, and Keegan Murray were 9 for 34. You got to think that they're going to be better than that.
Yes.
Right? You got to think that they're going to be better
Especially
than that.
At home.
Conversely, you got to think that guys not named Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, and Clay are going to be better from three-point land.
No, absolutely. I'm looking at a guy like tonight. Like this feels like a Jordan Poole, a Jonathan Kuminga.
I hope his ankle's okay.
I hope his ankle's okay, too. Like, it didn't sound like it. There hasn't been any reports out that it sounds super serious, unless you've seen something else lately. No, I haven't seen anything.
No, I haven't seen anything. Yeah. But I'm already starting to see it. Like, people are losing their minds, and I don't think he played great in the third quarter. I don't. But he really was awesome in that second quarter.
I saw Colin Cowherd blaming him for the loss. Can we not? Can we? Is this
he didn't even play in the fourth quarter.
He didn't even play. That's how can we blame a guy that didn't play? I blame this guy in the second half because you know what? He wasn't there in the fourth quarter, and they needed it. Stop.
They got good looks. They got to hit those shots.
Yes,
right. Like they have to hit those shots.
People are crushing Clay. It's like, what's a good shot? And what's a bad shot?
Well, that's what Clay is.
Like Clay's a top 5 shooter in the history of the NBA.
Exactly.
He knows what a good shot is, and what isn't. And you know what? A bad shot for most people is a good shot for him. So stop.
Steph hit 2 circus shots.
Oh, my God.
One was in the corner, which was unbelievable. And the other one on the other corner. Look, You got to live and die with some of these Clay shots. Like, that's where you're at right now. Do you love them? No, but there's a lot of Curry shots I don't love.
Yes.
And then he hits them, and you're like, you know what? Only he can do it.
Exactly.
And that's kind of where I'm at with Clay. Like, everyone's losing their mind. What's a good versus a great shot? Dog, like, everyone, you cannot enjoy the great shots and then get mad at some of the heat check shots. That's who he is.
Real quick, over this weekend, injuries, the name of the game, right? Who can stay healthy and stay upright? Giannis, lower back contusion. Don't know how effective he's going to be. Big guy, lower back. That concerns me. Tyler Hero, looks like he's going to be out. Broken hand. That stinks. You already saw the Jordan Poole rolled ankle. Like, all this sort of stuff, like, it's more wide open than it's ever been, it feels like, in the NBA. Like, it's Warriors. If you want to get back into it tonight, even up this series, you do not want to go down 0-2 against this team. I don't care how good you are at Chase Center.
No doubt. I know you were out at the park. I thought yesterday was an elite day for the NBA. They should feel so good because yesterday was such a great product. You know, we talk so much about hockey elevating their, in the playoffs, hockey's just different. Did you watch these playoff games?
Oh my God, Kawhi, KD going.
They
Russell
were
Westbrook.
Even the weak game, even the Bucks Heat was a good game.
Knicks Cavs or Jalen Brunson. Are you kidding me? Like, there was only pretty much like a couple stinkers, and it was from the 1 seeds basically. It was not the 1 seed, but the Sixers taking care of the
Nuggets
Nets.
Kind of handled business.
Celtics handled the Hawks, and then the Nuggets last night. Like, that series might be a sweep. Like, just watching like last night, just no Nas Reed, no McDaniels. Just
have I overrated Anthony Edwards?
It's like what, his third year now.
I really like him, but every time I watch him, I'm like, what is he besides athleticism? What's he hanging his hat on these days?
I mean, his defense, like, at times is good, but
I really like him though.
But the last couple months has been a tough stretch.
It really
for him.
has.
It's really been tough. I think when the loss of Karl Anthony Towns, he had to be that guy, and he just couldn't fill it. Now, no D'Angelo Russell there, so he really has to be that dude.
Yeah.
He just has. It's been tough. Like, he's a young guy, so I'd still buy the stock on him. But to your point, it's been a struggle there. That's Joe Shasky. He's coming up next with Bonte Hill. They're going to be taking all your calls. 888-957-9570. Start lining them up for these guys. Kings 126, Warriors 123. They're back in action tonight. Coverage of that starts at Warriors Live 6 o'clock right here, 95.7 The Game with John Dickinson. Tip off 7 right here. Tim Roy. Don't go anywhere. Morning roast next. Joe Shasky and Bonte Hill right here, 95.7 The Game.